Greetings and wholeness. I'm Raven. So, how to use astrology in a practical way? How to bridge the gap of recognizing, oh man, astrology has so much value and all this and that. And I'm seeing all these people and I can see the potential. Yeah, how do you bridge the potential? Is it even practical? Is it worth your time to learn about this stuff? All this and that. My what I've received in my experience so far with really being dedicated and trying to figure out, work the kinks out of how to bridge people that I care about that are in my community, my family members, loved ones, into integrating astrology and the other inner magic arts into their day-to-day life, and how impactful it is to be able to see and to get a very, again, practical approach to utilizing the information that you can get from astrology. Um, there are really the main use of astrology, first and foremost, was for the purpose of was medical purposes. So the origins is medical astrology to aid with your health, which is which rolls into your wealth. Health is your wealth. A lot of people come to astrology for relationships, health of their relationships, and also health of their finances. So, really, it all comes down to medical on a practical level. Yet, on the most, whenever what to observe to begin, at least this is how I've been initiated into being able to have something to work with, is really tracking the moon cycles. And as my teacher, Oyi Sun, presented it to me and taught me, is this moon magic. The moon is undeniably impactful in influencing this entire third dimension realm. It's, whatever it is, quote unquote, out there in the sky, it is responsible for pushing and pulling a massive body of water that we call the ocean, which is tons and tons and tons of pounds, uh, or like the actual weight language of ton, a ton. It's a lot of weight. That's a heavyweight. Heavyweight, we'll call it a something wandering in the sky, but either way, we do know that the police force, the heavily staffed people, uh, police officers, peace officers, public servants, to ideally protect the peace. I don't want to even get into that can of worms in this video. Yet the police will hella staff on full moon times. The ER visits and the hospitals will really pick up in uh, their patients and whatever, people showing up. People are more erratic. The Not only does the moon push and pull the high tide, low tide of the whole water, but our bodies are also the same percentage of water as the earth. Therefore, the moon also pushes and pulls like a marionette on strings, little puppet master, um, until you recognize what's going on, and you can observe this and get on the throne and start piloting your vessel. Um, Before that integration and upgrade occurs for you, for all of us, we are at the whim of what's going on with the moon. So high tide, low tide. There's high tide, low tide of your emotions, the emotions, and the whole energy of water, which money. You say moon, then there's money or moony. Uh, the the money is a currency. These are water terms, water languaging, get into kind of more of the legal side, law side of, which really explains a lot. Being able to read and interpret, understand, and overstand legalese and the legal structure. Um, Yet, so the moon will pull the high tide, low tide of your emotions, and also Um, your money is completely tied up in there. It's all the same. It's all the same energy that's being pushed and pulled on. So, knowing that fundamental fact, it makes sense that, well, what happens if you start tracking the moon? Now, for instance, um, let me show you a page of my journal where I actually was really getting in on this. You can essentially, and this is where the predictive or like fortune telling, which is, I don't want to get into that, but let's just keep it practical. You can predict where the moon is going to be adding some magic and some feeling and some emotion to a certain area of your life. Now, if I don't have a, let's see, if I have, I'm going to say, let's use this one. So, for instance, if this was an astrology chart, a natal chart, this would have 12 sections, like cut like a pie or a pizza. There'd be 12 pieces of the pizza or pie. Each piece of the pizza represents an aspect, an area, a stage, a classroom of life for you to learn specific lessons um, and grow through. Now, you also made these agreements, soul level agreements, before you even came into the manifested experience of the whole experience, the whole incarnation, come into the body, and you literally hired, and had a nice spiritual handshake. The agreement was made, and you hired specific professors, which are the planets, the luminaries, to come in to a certain area of your life and teach you this specific thing. Also, in relation to all the other teachers, and it's this whole beautiful symphony and orchestra, orchestrated by you first and foremost. We're not a victim to our experience yet. What doesn't kill us makes us stronger, and you can see that script, that storyline, when you learn to read or have a professional astrologer or whatnot read and interpret your natal chart. And you can see like, oh, this is why, oh, this was in my blind spot. I didn't fully know about this. This was more, and therefore I find also what's really practical is, hey, what's going on in the shadow work? What does my natal chart reflect to me about my shadow work with relationships, with just things I need to integrate, things that are unhealed? So I myself, I have my Jupiter placement in Virgo, and Virgo is my second house of tools, resources, possessions, um, and it's what I use, what I have and what I value to support my sense of self and my identity, and my personality, and my vehicle, and my mission going on through this world. Health has been a huge focal point for me, because a lot of the times there were many phases where it was such deep crisis that all I could do, we'll just say in the most extreme scenarios, is literally just focus on breathing. I would be obliterated if I didn't just focus on breathing. So obviously breathing is the fundamental component for doing anything else in this world. So health related as well. Yet Jupiter in Virgo, Jupiter in my second house, Jupiter expands, is the biggest luminary in the sky, in the cosmos. It is a big gas giant. So it's like whatever Jupiter comes around, whatever Jupiter touches in your chart, whatever house, classroom that you have Jupiter showing up in for you, you can expect that Jupiter is blowing that up like it's on steroids. And Jupiter also indicates where we have gifts and talents with teaching a specific form of wisdom. We all have wisdom and we all can teach whatever. We may not all have the calling as a teacher, um, yet there are variations to it. And yeah, I've been getting a lot from really sitting with, okay, I do have Jupiter in the second house, Jupiter in Virgo. Virgo is extremely practical. Um, is um, is like I'm getting more into recognizing that it's really a feng shui placement. People will hire, especially in the Asiatic cultures, people will hire feng shui interior designers and feng shui architects, anything in that realm to position things, have plants, all this different stuff. Um, I specifically focus on like the decluttering and messing, you know, bringing order and structure to hoarding scenarios. And there's a lot of magic potential where things get cluttered and just kind of brushed under the rug, or just in your storage if it's just overwhelming. And it's just like, I don't want to go in there. Uh, if you go in there and actually bring conscious energy, breath, attention, and pressure to these areas that are stagnating, you can move that energy and you'll be moving mountains metaphysically throughout your entire experience. So, um, it is one of the many inner magic arts to practice. Cleaning, who would have known? And this even goes into how I experienced the philosophy of karma yoga, which is like, okay, we're going to just do an action or exercise, whatever, with as a meditation, as a honoring to to the one organism that we are, to there's all these different words. You can say God, Brahma, Krishna, um, to the divine, just an honoring to the divine. You can make a tithing through actually um, doing your dishes, or heck, you go over to somebody's house or whatever, and you see that every there's all this stuff top notch, but like for some reason the dishes aren't done. If you do those dishes, there is a magical repercussion in a way. Um, and then it's just like the practicalities are: do you have your foundation in check before you go and start clearing up other people's foundations? Because you're going to just bring your dirty boots all up in someone's clean or almost pristinely cleaned home, which is counterproductive. And I've definitely been there and often do that, unfortunately, or fortunately, because I've learned to clean really quickly and from being so messy and dirty myself my entire life. So, lo and behold, I am just going through the motions and um, just getting the communications out there, receiving feedback, and what I'm getting is um, the more I interact with people, the more I just feel more compelled to create like reference guides for people, especially with the inner magic arts and astrology. Starting off with astrology, because astrology is more relevant. Like a lot more people have heard of astrology, and astrology will just be a portal, a doorway to other things such as like human design or gene keys and numerology and all these other things. There's actually the day of the day of the month in whatever month that you're actually born on. Um, it corresponds to an actual playing card deck card. So, for instance, for me, born October 9th, and anybody who's born October 9th, and also I know this because my brother was born April 21st. April 21st and October 9th are both King of Clubs. the archetype of the king of the clubs. But that's really fun to look into, and just insightful to know of. You got to know what if life is like a game, and this is like you kind of got to learn how to play your cards correctly, play your cards wisely and mindfully. Um, and a lot of people can do really well with a really quote unquote shitty hand. They just know how to play the cards, know how to present themselves. So you can make life work with the resources that are around you. And so, with that being said, um, reference guides. Yeah, be looking. What I am intending, what's moving through me, is to create resource guide YouTube videos where you can just go into the comments and just follow these different portals and links to your own type of university structure, university curriculum that you signed up for. Because it can be a lot of time and effort and all this stuff to prioritize walking everyone through all the different levels of astrology. So if you can learn to fish for yourself, that's like, and the goal of a teacher is to bring people up to speed to where you're at as the quote unquote teacher or guru, whatever, in a third of the time that it took the teacher to get there to that awareness. So to be able to shortcut people, not really shortcut, but fast forward people 2/3 of the way, and then they got, about, they need to put forth at least a third of the effort. Because you want to go, we're all building on top of each other. Everybody and all of our ancestors, all those who've come before us, everyone who's taught it anything, what we're doing is just taking everything we've learned and the foundations that's there and then just building on top of it. And yeah, we can benefit individually, yet whenever you get into the more self-actualized levels of life, you're contributing to the whole and nourishing the whole, which is that's peak level. Climb that mountain. I'm gonna end this video here. I trust you got something out of it, and feel free to contact me. You can contact me through my DMs on my social media platforms, links in the description, or also you can email me at my Gmail account of mysticravenmedicine@gmail.com. If you would like to get in conversation with me about astrological or inner magic tutoring, send me a message and put in there just simply, I'm interested in inner magic tutoring, and I'll continue the conversation from there. So thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. I'm Raven, and I'll catch you on the flip side.